Thomas Tuchel's transfer targets time. Hey, what's happening, friends? Welcome on back to Football Therapy with me, your host Jan. I hope you're all doing well, my dear sweet friends. Welcome in, namaste. How y'all doing? We all know both Thomas Tuchel and Chelsea Football Club's transfer targets, collective transfer targets, lie in three positions. Striker because of us not converting high quality chances, losing Giroud and probably Tammy Abraham this summer. Just an obvious one. A midfielder because Tuchel really does need the extra elite cover, especially if there's injury problems, as well as potentially offering a formation change. And a centre-back. Chelsea have long been targeting another centre-back, but Thomas Tuchel reportedly wants one as well, but I'm going to put it to you that perhaps he'll look to different options. Make sure, if you want to subscribe to this channel if you're new to the experience, because you get daily content, of course. Drop a like to show your support. Here's your quick reminder that I'm doing daily content over on Football Yannick as well, my sister channel. I'll be reacting to Manchester United's Europa League final loss in today's video, so to catch that, make sure you click the link in the top of the description. Alright then, let's get into the first story of today and talk about the most likely striker as things stand. And of course, according to the media in the last 24 hours, that would be big Romelu Lukaku. Chelsea are in for an elite centre forward, an elite striker. Lukaku had been recently mentioned in recent weeks, but we're talking Lukaku, Harry Kane, Lewandowski, Erling Haaland. That's the kind of money that Roman Abramovich is willing to put up for an elite centre forward for the new coach Thomas Tuchel. Now, you can look at certain ones like Harry Kane, very unlikely to come to Chelsea, boom. Erling Haaland, well, they've qualified for Europe now, and Dortmund will be reluctant to sell, boom. I realise the next solo finger I'll be putting up is my middle finger, so I shan't be doing that. Robert Lewandowski, very, very unlikely as well. Of course, Inter Milan and Antonio Conte have parted ways officially, much to the despair of the Inter fans after winning the Scudetto, because they need to make some player sales, and Antonio Conte does not want to work with them after having a depleted squad. Understandably, so they've parted ways and he's got a little bit of compensation money. Amicable to a degree. We all know about the special relationship between Antonio Conte and Romelu Lukaku. Lukaku will be likely to maybe want to leave, but certainly the club will want to sell him to generate great amounts of money, and it could be a perfect storm for Chelsea Football Club. I'm citing an article from the Metro today to give you further context. Let's get into it. Chelsea owner Roman Abramovich is ready to back Thomas Tuchel with a high-profile addition up front this summer transfer window, and will push to re-sign Romelu Lukaku following Antonio Conte's departure at Inter Milan. Tuchel has overseen dramatic improvements in Chelsea's defensive record since taking over the reins from Frank Lampard, and the German is keen to further strengthen in this area with Varane, Marquinhos, Sula and Koundé all linked. But given Jorginho is Chelsea's top goal scorer in the Premier League this season with a measly tally of 7 goals, the club will prioritise to bring in a proven centre forward with a view to ease the pressure on Timo Werner. Yep, something we've covered before here on Football Therapy, 7 goals in the Premier League, all penalties from a midfielder. It's simply not good enough for Chelsea Football Club. It's the first time in Premier League history we've had a top goal scorer with underneath 10 goals. And it's 7. Let's read on. Tottenham's Harry Kane, Borussia Dortmund's Erling Haaland are both firmly on the Blues' radar as potential options. However, Abramovich is especially eager to lure back Lukaku to West London, as he is one of his, quote, favourite strikers, according to Sunday World. Abramovich is prepared for another summer of lavish spending. The report claims that Conte's sudden exit, which came as a result of Inter's plan to sell 80 million euros worth of players this summer, will see Chelsea step up their move for Lukaku as they look to capitalise on the turbulent situation at the San Siro. Lukaku was with the Stamford Bridge outfit as a youngster from 2011 to 2014, but struggled to nail down a spot in Jose Mourinho's first team and left to join Everton 3 years later after an initial loan spell on Merseyside. We all know the deal. Lukaku really did want to play for Chelsea, loved the idea of playing for Chelsea, didn't work out under Mourinho. He went to West Brom, scored goals, he went on loan to Everton and then, transferred to them, scored a lot of goals, went to Man United, scored goals. He's a proven goal scorer in the Premier League. Personally, I like it. If you said to me, Jan, name the best 2 top-tier strikers that are proven in terms of scoring goals in the Premier League that, are available on the market, you'd say Harry Kane and you'd say Romelu Lukaku. That's just it. All the other strikers you can say, the elite European ones, you don't know until they get into the Premier League. And Chelsea know that from a great deal of experience from bringing in European strikers that scored loads and then come to Chelsea and struggle. We've had one this season. So Lukaku's a proven quantity. Of course, almost all of us might prefer Harry Kane, but that's a very, very unlikely scenario. So Romelu Lukaku is looking more and more and more likely. You know, the club Inter will want to sell him for the money. Lukaku will probably know that, and on top of that, Conte's gone, the reason why he went to Inter, so he'll be like, fine. And if he loves Chelsea that much and sees an opportunity to return, I think it's a highly likely transfer at this point. Right, let's move on to the midfield and talk about likely transfers. The person I'm talking about is probably unlikely because this is a difficult situation. Chelsea have been linked to certain different midfielders. We do have some midfielders on the books at Chelsea that Tuchel might still like. He's obviously come out and said he really likes Ruben Loftus-Cheek. I think probably more as one of the number 10s rather than a central midfielder, provided we keep the same formation, which is still massively up in the air. But loads of reports have recently come out that it's not just Frank Lampard who's a great admirer of Declan Rice, and Thomas Tuchel is indeed a great admirer as well. Of course, Declan Rice is a proven quantity in the Premier League as well, a captain of West Ham, one of the first names on the team sheet for England, versatile in that midfield, really good statistically in terms of performing in the Premier League, and could be just the ticket. But of course, Manchester United won him as well. Loads of teams want Declan Rice. But the article I'm citing today from the Evening Standard dictates that this might be more difficult than one originally assumed, especially after perhaps United and Chelsea fans gained a little bit of hope after West Ham didn't qualify for the Champions League, because that looked like they could really do that. They've obviously qualified for the Europa League. Let me just read this article and give you more context. Declan Rice insists West Ham are ready to take on anyone in Europe next season, and he says he's looking forward to more, quote, good moments at the London Stadium. The midfielder scored the third goal as West Ham sealed a 6th place finish and a Europa League spot with an impressive 3 win against Southampton on the final day. West Ham finished their season with their best ever Premier League points total, 65 points, and manager David Moyes told the fans after the game, make sure you're all vaccinated and get your passports out because we're going to Europe. It was reported over the weekend that Chelsea have revived their interest in Rice and could move for the 22-year-old England international this summer. But West Ham have no intention of selling Rice, and he says he's looking forward to leading the Hammers into the Europa League next season. That's the thing, isn't it? If he had a really good season, yet he could still only manage to get West Ham to like 9th or something, you think, ooh, he might fancy just playing in Europe next season. But the bond with the team, you know, Jesse Lingard and all these guys that have come together like Souček, and the manager and the fans having a good feeling again. You think, fair enough, he's really young, he'll probably want to stay at West Ham for another year longer, unless Man United come in and drop 80 million on him. Do you know what I mean? Which is possible if they're going to put that much on Harry Maguire. My personal opinion on Declan Rice is I really like the player, and I would absolutely like him at Chelsea, but I don't think it's a do or die situation. I trust Thomas Tuchel as a manager to get the right players for his central midfield, for a controlling system. For me, the biggest problems is of course up front. Hopefully Romelu Lukaku can sort that out should we sign him. Right, this next section I'm not going to cite an article, but I do want to talk to you about centre backs. Right, so the recurring theme is Chelsea want to bring in a centre half to the first team setup, someone to nurture long term that's hopefully at an elite level. Of course, we've been linked to the likes of Jose Jimenez, Schüller, Marquinhos, you know, loads of big names. But of course, Chelsea have loads of good centre backs on the books. Perhaps ones that Thomas Tuchel personally might favour and want to bring into the first team setup. First off, I want to quickly mention Fakayoko To Mori. Yes, it's likely that he gets permanently transferred to AC Milan, and from his perspective, you have to think, why not, man? But if Thomas Tuchel gets in his ear and says, look mate, I want you to end up starting for Chelsea, that's what my designs for you are, do you want to come back? To Mori might be reluctant to sign this deal for Milan, and he's a top tier level centre back that could feature in this Chelsea side still. Although personally, with how he feels valued over in Milan and how well they've performed, I have a feeling he's going to stay in Italy. Next up, Xavier Umbumba, this young Dutch kid that's absolutely excellent we bought from Barcelona. He's only just recovered from his injury and started playing with the youth teams, but he's scoring goals and putting in excellent performances. Thomas Tuchel does look to academy products and people playing in the academy level. He might have a look at Xavier because he's performing so well, he's strong and dominating, which I believe Thomas Tuchel likes, but he's also technically gifted and has got a goal in him. All the elements that Thomas Tuchel might like in a centre-back. I'm only offering out his name because I've been a fan of him personally, and I wonder if he will be considered. Next up, Marc Guehi. Of course, Marc Guehi's been excellent away alone in Swansea, and their 2 playoff games that got him to the final, he won both the Man of the Match awards, putting in absolutely monstrous performances. A lot of people that follow the Chelsea Academy will have watched Marc Guehi for a long time. People who watch it a lot more than I do often tell me Marc Guehi is the one and he could come into the Chelsea first team and be absolutely, if not a starter, a player that features often. If you've got these players and you want to bring them in, why not, maybe save yourself 50 million on these elite names. I'm just saying, considering we defend so well systemically, maybe we need less individual brilliance and just good players back there, and we spend all the money on the pointy end of the pitch. Anyway, I've said this video is going to be called Most Likely Transfers, but at the moment, we don't know exactly how likely these names are, apart from perhaps Lukaku getting warmer and warmer. So let me know your thoughts, feelings and opinions down in the comment section below on today's content. Drop a like if you want to show your support. Make sure you check out Football Yannick for additional content. Thank you, enjoy the football my friends, and I'll see you later.
You ain't so tough with that bad boy tuck. I'ma get it how I'm living, I'ma walk the walk. Outline my lines, I rap through thought. Body bag the verse, outlined in chalk. In my life seen trouble, hustle on the double. Silence on the trigger like my pick got a muzzle. Yo chick like to guzzle, bad boy stay in trouble. I only love this paper, sorry I don't. I laugh me baby.